the idea, if it is there, that we can immunise the legal system from AI is, to my mind, not very realistic. The scale of the change and the rapidity of the change, the pace, are such that it's inevitable that AI will be a feature of the legal landscape. I've met with a number of the firms and discussed what products they're using and how they're using it, and they're very conscious of the risks associated with the use of AI, including where the data is being stored. Is it being stored in Australia? Is it going overseas? Is client confidential information being made available outside, and how is it being controlled? They're very conscious of those things, and so they're cautious in relation to the adoption of technology. But they see internationally and in Australia that it'll be a significant productivity gain in the preparation and hearing of matters in court. In the courts, the Coroner's Court is doing a really interesting pilot in relation to using an AI product to assist in the preparation of coroner's reports. They're not prepared by AI, but they're assisted by AI in matters which are very significant in the sense that a loved one or a family member has died. There's been a necessary investigation by the coroner, and the coroner has to produce a report. If it can simulate a lot of material quite quickly, which is not necessarily controversial, it's not contentious, but can assimilate that and provide summaries checked by staff within and by the coroner, then that might be a really good way of efficiently producing or assisting the process. So there's AI currently piloted in the Coroner's Court, which is looking really quite positive in relation to that particular area of work. In relation to other areas, we're looking at conducting pilots in my court in relation to the use of AI to see whether it can assist. Again, not being the judge, not writing the decision, not replacing the analysis, but in terms of some of the assistance. Now, that's a very, very cautious steps, and we haven't quite worked out how that's going to implement it, but it's something that in order for us to understand how the profession are using it, I think we've got to have a little bit of an experience ourselves. There are risks, of course. There's a lot of talk about AI can produce hallucinations, can make up cases because it's just looking at all of the vast material and creating what's probable.
It's looking
outcome.
at language, yes.
Looking at language and what's statistically probable in a very, very sophisticated way, and producing outcomes which read like a very reasoned outcome as we would understand it. That there are limitations in treating that as a reasoning process. But I think those risks, there are also opportunities. And I think there are real opportunities for access to justice. We are seeing some self-represented litigants using it, and sometimes it's slowing things down rather than helping.
Because?
Well, because they just seem to be giving us more and more material,
right,
and more versions, and more, and the quality of the material is, on its face, looks sensible, but it's completely unprincipled in the sense that it's not based on any known approach to principle. So, unpicking it can sometimes be difficult. So it hasn't yet got productivity gains, but I think I'm cautiously optimistic that I think there will be productivity gains, access to justice gains.